and
love
there's
that
nothing to talk about. It's a city without an identity.
I love that you're
zero.
furious that Austin is getting highly populated and more corporate because you've talked about it for the past year and made it popular. This is your fault.
I have said nothing about the city of Austin, Texas. And I want to go on record here.
Okay, I'm not... Go.
Is a dump. It is a dump. I come to find out it's not exciting. It's actually much worse. And it's a horrible city without a soul. It's a soulless city that should be burned to the ground. And everyone that lives here should be summarily executed or forced to be in a North Korean-style labor camp where they get skinnier and skinnier until they simply disappear. And no one will remember them because no one here can even make a fucking documentary about this dump. It is not the live music capital of America. It's 3 heroin addicts busking with guitars. There is zero talent here in any capacity. There's 3 restaurants that are good, and I've been to all of them twice already. It is over. Tech demons will come in and do what they did to San Fran. They'll colonize the outside of Austin, and they'll invent chips to shove up your ass. And the city of Austin will be what it has always been, an uninteresting dullard. But I do own a home here now. And I will say that I'm very dramatic. It is a great place to come and live.
It's beautiful.
Because the appreciation of the home is important to me. So I will say that comedically I'm very dramatic, but it is a great place to live, and a lot of people love it, and I love it. And I want more people to come and keep buying the homes. Because it has these secret nooks and crannies, and you find... I didn't even know who I was until I moved here, but it is a beautiful place. So keep coming and buying. I'm doing a bit on a comedy podcast, but what I really believe is that it's a great place to raise a family as long as they, like you, are dull and never want to succeed.
I am obsessed with the fact that so many comedians followed a billionaire to Austin.
That was listen, he's not a billionaire, by the way. He barely has money. Secondly, he's fine. I run in circles with people that got a little more than him.
I love that all these comedians moved out to Austin and be like, I'm gonna get on a show. He'd rather have someone
he literally brought homeless people here that are talking about taxes. They're like, I'm gonna save money on tax. It's like you live in a tent.
But also he'd rather have someone that makes bespoke knives on than you.
Right.
He's the piece not
No, there's people that are moving here that have never been on the show. They've known him 16 years. They've never done the show.
They're just hoping that the people he's flying in miss their flight and he needs someone last minute. They're just sitting in the parking lot like gargoyles, just like maybe someone's going to cancel.
It'll all be great. I don't know, but it just feels I am not into it yet.
Well, you are.
I like sociopaths because they're funny and I can make fun of them. And Austin has a few of them.
They'll shoot you in the face if you make fun of them.
But no, it's just boring. It is boring here.
But Joe has a family and he has a whole thing. Like, I was just like, the idea of moving there, like, without a family or without having to like put a kid in school. I just was like, you're just gonna be in a house in the hills alone with your own thoughts all day. This is not gonna go well.
No, but I'm going to travel a lot to LA, and then eventually I'll remedy this. But it's an interesting thing.
What have you learned about yourself? Have you learned anything about yourself?
I've learned a lot about Austin, and I've learned a lot about that the craziness of LA, the insanity of it was funny.
Yeah.
And town is really not that funny. This town's not that funny.
People are happy. It's placid.
It ain't funny.
It's placid.
It ain't funny.
When you go to LA, it's a great, like New York, it's a great place to live because, what was that?
That's Rogan. Relax. He's calm down. He's strangling a bird on the leg.
He's doing his nightly bird.
Yeah.
Bird strangle. So how long did it take once you got to Austin to realize
15 minutes.
That you should have just listened to me?
When I drove from the airport to my home, I wanted to kill myself.
Here's
the reality. It takes a while to realize that Austin's an NFT. It doesn't exist.
No. If you go,
not real.
as someone that loves Austin, the first time I came here, a couple years ago, I was with Kevin Christie. We were doing the Cap City or Paramount or something.
Great.
We come in, we allot 2 days.
I love Cap.
2 days. to just be in Austin and hang out. And we see all the pictures on Instagram. Keep Austin weird. I love you so much.
That's not loving Austin. That's you enjoy it for 2 days.
No. We looked through it and we were like, this is 2 blocks. Like,
2 blocks.
This is my favorite thrift store.
Correct.
But and then the rest was like Century City. And we're like,
it's 2 blocks. It's
on Instagram, it looked like it was just Coachella all the time.
People that are brain damaged and have had bad car accidents.
But you know that I got in the car with this guy that picked me up from the airport, and he was like, "Are you Winnie Cummings?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Can you tell your friends to stop fucking moving here? Like, they don't want you either.
Yeah,
they don't want us."
Hey, cool. Great.
What did you do?
And by the way, shut up. Like, how's he gonna live? His job is driving around.
He thinks that he is in the second string militia for the government.
Oh.
He's on the...
Oh, but I like that guy. That's your armadillo guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was some blue-haired person who's like, I want to shine.
No, he has...
Tell your friends to stop coming here. I have a one-man show. One-person show.
He is someone that, it's that body type that's just like a giant pot belly, like you can't see your feet. He believes that the government, when we go to war, is going to call him in as the reserves.
That's less of a crazy belief than the idea that Austin, Texas... is going to be the next big thing.
Can I tell you, there used to be,
Miami and Austin, a bunch of criminals moved to Miami. It's like...
That's your algorithm. No one ever said that. Like, no one's been saying...
Everyone is saying it. No, you don't read...
2 or 3...
No. It is literally the topic of conversation for the last several months.
By the way,
I've not invented this.
I do not follow comedians that are looking for confirmation bias of the bad choice they already made. Like, dude, this is the shit. This is the shit. Like, I'm like, okay, like, let me...
To live like a person here, you have to have $40 million.
To live like the kind of life that you need, which is, by the way...
Because here's what I would do with that money.
But we're staying in a place...
kill everyone in Austin.
We're staying in a place...
And never have to see anyone. I'm not even talking about buying a mansion. I mean, that $40 million, I could invest it in a chemical weapon and decimate the entire city. And then I might enjoy it, start building it up again piece by piece.
But here's the problem with you, is that you are so committed to being pissed off, which is why I think you're great at what you do. No.
I'm not. We
visited a $40 million home. We visited it, and first of all, you think it's a dump. Second of all, I
didn't say it was a dump.
We go from the house to the lake, which is, I don't know, 1,000 yards or something, because it's so vast and beautiful. And then you get up here and you're like, this walk is too fucking long. You don't even want the mansion you want. What's going to happen when you...
What I said, and the way that I feel, is that Austin's a lovely place. Being on the lake is beautiful, but you cannot compare it to being on the ocean.
In the freezing cold ocean in the Hamptons, after you get Lyme disease and bitten by 500 mosquitoes and get shot by Seinfeld security.
The Hamptons destroys Austin in every respect.
I am not arguing that.
In every respect.
I just mean the Hamptons.
Palm Beach doesn't destroy Austin? Are you nuts?
Palm Beach is...
What's good about this conversation is that the majority of Americans are unemployed. So this is a good conversation and a relatable one for many people sitting at home right now.
Do you think it's a coincidence Trump gets banned from Twitter and social media and you get banned from Airbnb?
I was banned from Airbnb. I went to an Airbnb in the desert. 2 lesbians had... put together an Airbnb with furniture that no one could sit on, right? Like art pieces. But like I had fat people with me, so they couldn't sit in the chairs or anything. We all had to just stand out there in the middle of the desert. It was really embarrassing. And we left some dishes in the sink. That's all we did. Didn't break anything. I mean, look at this. Look at that. That's what you had to sit on. Every piece of furniture like sodomized you as you sat on it. Like that's how fucked up it was. Look at that. That's a chair. It's ridiculous. So then these lesbians, I threatened to kill them. I texted them. I said I was going to burn down your house. They said, are you threatening me? I said, let's just see what happens. I then texted them. I said, let the games begin, ladies. You have no idea who you're fucking with. Then Airbnb kicked me off.
Now, did they file a formal complaint, or did Airbnb follow the story? You think Airbnb followed the story?
I imagine these, because I spoke about it on my podcast. I said I wanted to gas them, lock them in their house, gassed them, and watched them like paw at the windows like cats.
Very much like The Patriot. Have you seen that scene in The Patriot?
Yes, that's what I want.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's where we're at with that. I am removed from Airbnb, but I will set up my producer. We'll just set it up under his account, and I'll use VRBO.
I don't give a shit. And
Wow.
I
So you're
just, I would,
switching.
those ladies, watch your back.
What's your back? Have the fans been harassing them? Do we know their profiles and shit?
Probably. I don't know what I don't know what people do. I don't know if they're sending messages. No, they had to go private on Instagram, and they had to, turn off comments on the page because they trashed me on a public forum, which is Airbnb, and I am just using my opportunity as a citizen of this country,
your voice,
to speak freely against these two lesbians who are not designers, not artists, not interesting. No. They are goofy bitches. And we're locked in a war, and fuck Airbnb too. And fuck Airbnb. They're not letting the terrorists stay in the Airbnbs that want to do the Civil War for the inauguration. Yeah, it's fucked up. They want to pay the terrorists. Want to pay the money.
Look, I grew up around a lot of CWRs, man, and we used to go and we'd picnic out there and eat at them and watch the battles, and so. It's not surprising that a lot of those guys are still left and they want to, get out and about and they have that energy inside of them.
Right.
But, and that's Civil War reenactments.
You mean
too,
Civil War reenactments. Like, that's who's coming out to, like, climb in the Capitol. Dudes that are, like, out there in the fields. Yeah.
Yeah, it took it a little too serious. It didn't go well. And
also, look, there's a lot of, lesbians with the expendable income and they're doing the extra home. And they have they call them the dickless angry.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, lesbians they're very angry and they take every job they do seriously, even if it's the worst job in the world. A lesbian pretends like she's like the national security advisor, so she could be restocking vending machines and she acts like it's the most essential, critical job ever being performed. And it's just they're power obsessed. Beasts, really.
Why do you think you have issues with lesbians? Do you think you would have issues if they were just
I live issues with gay men, too. I have issues with straight people. I have issues with people that don't respect me, and these two, their names are Jonah and Mila. Can you imagine Jonah and Mila? How do you respect? Their Airbnb photo is them sitting with their Weimaraner in, like, big hats.
Are they hot?
With, like, a cake. I do not feel like they're hot. No, but... I just don't want to get too much trouble here because I probably will get a letter from a lawyer within a day or two.
And their dog is probably named Elizabeth Smart. They always have a dog that's named after like a, someone like someone that's been through a lot,
Yeah, we're just over. I'm over the whole lesbian attitude of like very serious, severe, like we're very competent and we have good credit. It's like, who gives a fuck? You're going to hell like everyone else.
Yep.
Theo, you have any issues with lesbian, or are they all good with you because you look like them?
First of all, Brendan, you look like a fucking...
Get it out, buddy.
I don't have it. That's the problem. I've used it all on so many episodes of this show. But I do want to say, yes, I feel like I'm okay with lesbians, man, but I've never... Look, I'll be honest. My first interaction with lesbians, we had a couple of lesbians live across the street from us. And they used to try to sync their lights up with the radio station, and they couldn't make it happen. And it was crunch time. It was Christmas Eve, and they ended up fist fighting in the yard. And one of them worked at the library. And ever since then, and I did donuts in their fucking yard a couple days later. And ever since then, we've been on the rocks. But what gets me is why lesbians are so angry at straight men, and I think that Tim is just like there's a lot of chatter on the dark web and stuff these days. Where's Tim's sexuality even lies? So I don't even think they looked at you. I think they looked at you as like Tom Cruise's fucking arrogant
they looked at
younger
me as a
brother.
straight guy. I do have a wife and kids. I don't think there's a problem with that. I identify as gay in this community that we're in. I do have a wife and kids that live in suburban New Jersey. I own a family-style Italian restaurant. And it's called Rigatoni's, and we're very happy. But as when I live in LA, I'm a homosexual, and I'm gonna come out as trans very soon. That's coming. But no, these lesbians looked at me as a straight man, a grotesque middle American straight male pig who defiled their fucking art piece in Jewel Box in the desert. And the reality is that I expose them as frauds. And
Yes,
I've
please.
done it to the
Thank you.
world now. I've exposed them as frauds, as these talent, because that's what lesbians are. They're talentless men. That's what they are. No offense to them. They're for the most of them are grunting Tim Allen,
Yeah.
home improvement pigs.
Yeah.
And I've exposed them is that you can put
Al
on any funny
Borland's.
hat you want. I know what you are. You're a demon from hell. So when I come out and tell everyone in the world that, I can't go to Airbnb anymore, and that's not right.
That's not right. Do you think they're going to catch on to, how Trump got banned from Twitter, so he started using another account? Do you think they're going to ban your producer, too? Now it's going to fuck it up for
I don't
him?
give a fuck. I've got a legion of patriots. I call my fans the patriots, and we will.
brother.
Airbnb has a headquarters, I'm sure. We'd love to get in there with some Viking horns
I'll go in
on
there.
and let everybody know what's going on. Do they advertise on the show? I don't care. We'd like to go over to Airbnb, say hello to everybody, let them know how we feel. The patriots.
Send me in. I'll Shawshank through the damn shit pipe, Daddy. Send me in.
Yeah, Theo
you
be
know what
the
I'm
front
saying?
leader there, man.
Yeah, I'll send Theo right in.
I'll come out 2 months later into the wrong office. I'll show up in a fucking Dunkin' Donuts with a Brooks Was Here t-shirt on.
Hey, as long
I
as
don't
people
give a
get scared,
damn.
the point of terror is always terror. So as long as people get scared.
Your genius is that
Well,
you
stop.
will go. Okay, your talent.
No, genius
Yeah,
was the
no,
right
I
word.
do feel like that. I was exaggerating. Is that you will go to a place and you will not really participate in the moment you're in because you're so busy in your head coming up with a rant about it. Like I remember when you came to Thanksgiving, you were just sitting in the corner watching. You do not participate. You don't really want to talk to anybody.
Well, Thanksgiving was a horribly mismanaged nightmare. You are not given entertaining in any real way. It was stressful for the guests. It was odd. You were berating some guy to ask him how much he owed in taxes.
Jim Jeffries walked in with his kid and wife and didn't even sit down. He
Nobody
just turned
knew
around
what was going on. It was disconcerting for many of us. And I was just processing that moment of sheer insanity.
Well, 'cause-
you were doing like Kegels with Instagram influencers. Meanwhile, Jim Jeffries all thought this was a family event. Like no one knew what was
No,
going
but also
on.
there was so much amazing food there, and I think I haven't, as an adult, hosted parties that have expensive food and no one's eating it. And
Well, they're drug addicts. Your friends are drug addicts, so they're not eating it because they're on cocaine, so they don't need to eat.
I spent so much time being like, "Are you gonna eat this?" I was like,
There were people in the party putting stuffing up their nose because they had no idea how to eat through their mouth. I'm just saying. Yeah, your friends were drinking like CBD milkshakes, and
I was trying to force people to eat all the food
Yeah.
I got. I'm the most annoying guest. I'm like, enjoy it, enjoy the party. Try this, try
This
this.
is the way Whitney hosts something. She'll be like, hello. It's like a manic mania. As soon as you walk in, like the great socialites, a great host of our time, knew how to like
Lily Pulitzer.
breeze through a room and like really
Yeah.
like have a few bits of conversation. Whitney gets in deep with everybody. And it's absurd. Like you're supposed to have like a very like light touch with everyone, and like, hey, how have you been? Where you been? You went on a vacation? Oh, I love the Cape, and leave.
I'm out.
And Whitney's like, what do you owe in taxes right now to people during dinner? And it was so crazy. Somebody would be like, you have a beautiful yard. She goes, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want out of this? Out of everything? People are like, dude, it's so intense and it's so crazy. And then your friends are like a mixture of like brilliant people and then brain dead people. So you have like very smart people, and then you have people that like have autoimmune disorders they've invented.
That are like in capes.
Yeah, that are like in capes and don't know where they are, and everything's like they do everything for a brand deal, and they're like pretending to have lupus. So it's a strange mix of people.
I like to surround myself with a very colorful crew, and I do not
Yes.
judge. I am not elitist when it comes to like intelligence. I like to like make a party. First of all, at that time, it was really just only people
Right.
that were in homes with other people, and would get the test that would turn in a
Yes, it
negative,
was very
a
responsible.
negative COVID
Well,
test.
it was very responsible. We'll put that out there.
It was only
We all-
anti-vaxxers.
We all had
So it was-
hydroxychloroquine on IVs. Yeah.
And so at the time, those were literally the only people that would go out.
Yeah.
No one
It's
would
true.
really go anywhere.
Yeah.
All the sane people said, no, we're not going to do a Thanksgiving this year. Are you insane?
Most people did
are,
that, but
people are
all
dying
you
in
had
the
to do
streets.
was rattle a pill bottle, and your friends crawled in like stray cats to a bowl of milk.
They all think I'm famous. I think they're famous. It's a shit show.
Right. Whitney will introduce you to someone you've never heard of who's got like 90 million Instagram followers. And she'll be like, they've got a calendar, and it's just like them with an umbrella. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
No, they're super famous in India.
Right. Right.
Do you want to sell
She
tickets
will
in
tell you,
India?
like, Whitney will be like, this is the biggest influencer in Kuala Lumpur. And you go, what? Why am I here?
But you,
What's going on?
You conversely were doing that shit with me. You made me feel so I was like, do I need to get on TikTok and start doing little noises and faces on TikTok? I mean, you had a minute where TikTokers were like your main future of your business.
I have dinner with TikTokers a few times, and I make fun of them, and they don't care because they're 19 and good looking, so they don't care that you're making fun of them, which I find refreshing.
Yeah.
It's refreshing when someone goes, "Yeah, I don't care, you pig. Who cares what you say?"
Right.
And that's good.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I had dinner with those same TikTokers. They were looking at me. I think they thought I was Joan Rivers. I don't even know what was happening. I went to dinner with you fucking leave LA, and then I'm stuck there with a bunch of non-comedians, and you
went with the great Michael Gruen.
Yes, who I
Yes,
love.
he's great.
But they're all staring. They have no idea they don't know what I do they don't know anything about me, and I'm just sitting there, and they're
They
like,
didn't watch Twin Peaks.
Airbnb is really disrupting real estate. And I know a lot about real estate. I just did a little fake business. Now, you know that I do this. A lot of the audience don't know that I do. I do fake business. I call up realtors all day when I'm bored, and I pretend I'm a realtor and that my client is very interested in their property, and I ask them lots of questions about their property. I just did it with a commercial property on Palm Canyon Drive. I said, hey, this is Tim. I have a client of investor that's really interested in the property. What are we looking at per square foot, and what are some of the local restrictions we should know about? And, these whole things, they go into this whole thing. They go, well, they don't want a coffee shop in there because Starbucks, there's a competing business clause, so Starbucks doesn't want a coffee shop. This is how the corporate takeover of America is, by the way, because when Starbucks moves into an area, they go, yeah, we don't want some independent coffee shop opening. Not all areas, but a lot of them. We don't need somebody slinging lattes for less than we are. So the guy goes, well, there's a Sprint store, so we can't do a competing business, blah, blah, blah. And we talked about it. There's a lot of parking behind. I said, thank you. I said, I have an investor, but he's very concerned about, the competing business clause and everything like that. And I was on the phone with this guy for about 10 minutes. And he said to me, oh, Tim, that's cruel. Their time has value. No, it doesn't. And I will continue to do fake business because I like doing fake business. It's one of my favorite things to do. I like to call people and I like to lie about who I am and what I do. And then I like to see how they conduct business because on their end, they're conducting real business. I'm conducting fake business. Now, never the two shall meet. We've gotten to the point where one of my clients who doesn't exist was almost going to put an offer on a house. This was last week. I've been on the phone with this realtor for like 45 minutes, 3 times in a row. I've had to block her finally. She doesn't know what happened. Sometimes I have to block the people because fake business gets very intense. Fake business, people start drawing up contracts. I mean, she was calling appraisers. She was going to have inspections done. I was representing a very motivated overseas client. Now, sadly, that client died of coronavirus before we could go see the property. That's not my fault. And I tried to explain that to her, but she was kind of confused and started saying, oh, this, blah, blah, blah. Are you real? Is this real? Cops, FBI, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Blocked. I'm helping train these professionals. Do you understand? Yes or yes? By calling them, people need practice. So this schmuck over there on Palm Canyon, I did use my real name, by the way. Like, this is Tim Dillon. And sometimes I make up a firm name. Sometimes I use a real firm name. Sometimes I just say, this is Tim Dillon with Futures. He goes, what? And I go, Futures Investment? And he goes, okay. You just go, okay. You go, yeah, all right. I go, yeah, you got a commercial listing on Palm Canyon on the corner. I'm wondering what we're looking at price per square foot. What's the parking in the area like? What's the competing business clause? Well, any local restrictions we should know about? I have a team of investors that are looking to expand into this area. Many of them, sometimes it's a franchise, sometimes not. But I'm just, it's an investment group. They're very interested. They love the visibility of the location. Oh, he goes, it's a great location. So they love the visibility of the location. And see, right there, we're beginning to do fake business. Because then he goes to his wife and he goes, hey, I just got a call from a guy that may be interested in this. And then he tells his secretary and then he tells his partner. So I'm in. And I'll give him a follow-up call later tonight. I'll have 10 more bullet point questions before I bring my investors. And I do this. Now, a lot of people, I was explaining to someone at dinner that I do this. And they go, that's horrible. I said, why? Doing fake business. They go, why? I said, I like doing it because I don't have a real estate license and I can't do real business, but I at least can do fake business. They said, that's pretty sick. I said, maybe you're sick because I want realtors to get the best professional. You golf a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you golf every day, are you better at it?
Yes, absolutely.
Now that doesn't now even that includes going to a driving range.
Sure.
Right. Correct.
Right.
Sometimes I see golfers swing clubs in their backyard.
Mm-hmm. Helps.
Doesn't matter if it's real or fake. What matters is that this guy's going through the next guy to call him might be real. But I'm going to beat that guy out. I'm going to do a competitive offer because I conduct fake business well. And many people don't. A lot of people do things. People go on fake diets. I've done a ton of them. People do all kinds of things that aren't real. People are fake comedians. They pretend to be a comedian for a decade and impoverish themselves and live on a floor and walk dogs. Fine. That's all. When you go home to your family for Thanksgiving and you go, I'm a comedian, they're eating and they're like, no, you're not. You're a pretend comedian. You're a fake comedian. Right. I am a fake real estate investor, and I will continue to do fake business. So if you get a call from a guy that sounds like me, just be forewarned. The deal's not closing. The deal's not closing. I have an interest in presenting myself. I have a lot of clients when I do fake business. They're very busy. Many of them are overseas. They cannot handle. I mean, we should probably get the phone, do a little fake business right now. Maybe we get our phone. Can you get the phone? Let's do a little fake business. Because I don't think people understand what I bring to the table and how good I really am. Is that my phone? Yeah. Let me call this guy back. How do we get him in the Roadcaster? Is he in the Roadcaster?
Hello?
Hey, Adam, Tim Dillon, how are you? We spoke about the property on Palm Canyon a few minutes ago.
Yeah, hey, Tim. How's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you? I wanted to know if there's a list of the competing clause. My client's asking me if there's a list of businesses, whether it's Starbucks, Sprint, things like that, that we could kind of figure out what the restrictions are, just so I could kind of email that to them because he wants to show it to his investors, if that's possible. Also, is there a way they can get out to see the property maybe later in the week?
Yeah. I live about 4 minutes from it, so not too difficult. I will just go to the center right now and send you a quick list of all of the businesses that are in there already.
I would appreciate that. Let me ask you a question too. How long has this property been on the market? I haven't looked it up yet.
Yeah, I've been marketing it for maybe, I just signed it like right when COVID hit, and then I delayed it for like 2 or 3 months. So I'd say maybe like 2 or 3 months now. Okay, and
before you had it, was it sitting there for a while or no? They always like to know these things.
Yeah, I know Banner Mattress was there up until recently.
Okay.
I know there's a mattress firm like right across the street.
Yeah, I saw that. Would this be a 5-year lease or what are they looking for in terms of commitment?
Yeah, it really just depends on the tenant and the rate, things like that. Obviously, the longer the commitment, the better we can do on the rate. I think they're open right now.
Okay, and I imagine
minimum 5 years.
And I imagine they're open to some form of negotiation given the climate.
Of course.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
We're here to do deals.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, me too. It's a little wild out there, Are you guys mainly commercial? You do any residential?
I do a bit of both.
Okay, good. Yeah,
you got to be kind of a generalist out here. So.
I agree. Yeah, a lot of people are starting to get interested in this area, and I think it's because LA's had a lot of problems, and a lot of my clients. I do business primarily in Los Angeles, and a lot of people are starting to look at this area, and a lot of them are excited about maybe jumping into something here, because the high season. I imagine it's January through June.
January through April is our high season.
Right.
But pretty much like right now, like September through April. So we kind of have like a shoulder mid-season, which is September through December.
Right.
And then January to April just crushes, and then Coachella is obviously in Stagecoach are in April, and that kind of, and we have Memorial Day weekend, July 4th, even during the summer, we do pretty well.
Of course, I appreciate that. Well, listen, I have you guys. I have your website. I'm going to shoot you an email, just again introducing myself, and then if you could just get me a list of some of those competing business clauses, just so I can show it to them, and hopefully they'll get out to see it sometime next week. They're super interested. One of them lives out here in Rancho, and they pass it all the time. So they had me just kind of reach out to you and see what was going on. But they're pretty motivated. And again, I think it's all about, how restrictive those clauses are.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty flexible. So I'll shoot you the businesses.
Yes.
And we'll see if we can do something, okay?
I appreciate it, Adam. Thanks a lot for your time.
All right, thank you.
So it's fake business, and I'm doing it well. Let's be honest. I'm doing it well. I'm protecting the interests of my clients. Am I not? Am I not protecting the interests of my clients when I conduct fake business? My fake clients are important and they need to be protected. I want them to have the maximum amount of freedom in any given situation. You understand? Start doing fake business. It'll change your life. I'm telling you that right now. Start doing it. No one can stop. You don't need a license. You just need a phone and a computer, and you can start doing fake business. Set up a fake email address. I have one. Start doing fake business right now. It's the gateway to real business. Are you bored? Are you sitting around at home? You don't know what to do? Build a fake empire of whatever business you choose. You don't need any type of license to do this. You can just call people and be the person you've always been meant to be. I think I've always meant to be sort of a rainmaker, putting together deals, guy with a six-pack and a huge cock, fucking people of every gender, doesn't matter, maybe connected to intelligence, maybe not, power broker type of guy. And that's what now, of course, I'm not that. I'm negotiating commercial real estate mattress transactions in Rancho Mirage. It doesn't always, fake business doesn't always work out the way you want it to. I want it to be fake CIA. I can't do that. But I'm a fake realtor in the fucking desert. Even your fake life will not be as great. You see? Even in my pretend life, I'm just a shitty realtor looking to sniff out a buck. But I know who I am. I know who I am in my real life and my fake life, and that's what's the most important thing. Set the expectations for your fake business high but reasonable. This is my advice to you. Gary Vaynerchuk tells you to start a real business. Oh, I say no. I say start a fake one. Start a pretend business. You can do everything that you will do in a real business. There's much less risk. Sure, these people get upset after a while after you've called them 17 or 18 times. You have to make up stories about what happened to your investor, why he didn't show up to the showing, you were in the hospital. It's easy to do. I'm just telling you it's important. Oh, Tim, these people's time is valuable. No, it's not. No, it's not. They love it. All they do all day is talk to 90 people. One of them signs a contract. I'm one of the fake people. Until the contract is signed, all business for intents and purposes is fake business. And I am one of the best. And that's what I've been doing here to keep myself sane. I mean, right now I'm negotiating a strip mall in Connecticut. You see? It's much more complex because there's many different storefronts. You see? See what I mean? As you get better at fake business, you have to start looking things up. You got to know tax numbers. You got to know profit and loss. I mean, you got to really know your stuff. If you want to start talking to I have some real deal people I talk to. They're legit. They make real money. And they think I'm a realtor. You know? They think I represent an investment group. So that's what I think you should do. If I had to choose how you spend your time, it would be that.